Hello everyone. I hope all of you must be fine. So long we have been taking or discussing the topic of economics as a subject matter or in social science, and we have been looking into the various theories that have been propagated by different economists during their own times, be it Adam Smith, be it Marshall, or be it Robbins, or be it Samuelson. We have been talking about their theories and their implications on the overall growth of the nations. But now the topic of the day is going to be the political economy. You must know that politics is also in existence in our country, and it is going to have a lot of impact on the way our economy functions, because the political decision makers, they do have a different idea. Like you just to quote an example, in the recent past, we have seen the Sri Lanka going haywire because of the policies taken by the political masters of the country. And very recently, I think in the last week, our PM himself, he said that just offering certain lucrative, freebies for the common people is not going to, help the economy grow in the long run. And it is going to be actually harakiri, if we may say so. So there are multiple interests from the multiple and the diversified groups across the country, and each one of them, they have got a fair amount of idea as to how the economy should function. So today we'll be looking into exactly what the political, economy connotes, and we will try to explore its components and its different aspects which are going to have impact on the economy as a whole. So, hi, I'm Professor P.K. Pathak, and going to have a detailed discussions as deliberator right now. And before we actually begin our presentation, I urge all of you to do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and keep on receiving interesting videos of the significant topics. And as I told you, these topics are very common topics, although it has been tailor-made for the RBI aspirants and the management graduates for acquiring knowledge. This is equally important for all those people who are searching for acquiring knowledge in this particular topic, irrespective of what kind of competitive exam they are taking or what kind of course they are undertaking. So on that note, now I'm going to share my slide, and we will be having a meaningful discussion in next few minutes. I hope everybody can see the slides. This is the topic of the day, as I told you earlier, the political economy, and we'll just be exploring as to what exactly the political economy is. So let us proceed and see what is the political economy. So as you can see, the definition says it is a social science that is studying the production, trade, and the relationship with the law and the government. So all the economical activities vis-a-vis the activities of the government, or for that matter, the policies of the government. Okay. Now, as I told you earlier, there are multiple groups in our economy, and they have different beliefs about how the economy should be developed. And that's the reason why the political economy has become a complex field covering a broad range of political interests. And if we have got a little bit of interest in the current affairs of our country, you must be looking into the recently passed many laws from the parliament which are being opposed on the pretext of one thing or the other. So while the government of the day, the ruling party, they have got a different opinion about how the economy should function. Say, for example, the farms bill, the 3 farms bills that were introduced last year, heavily opposed by the farmers themselves and some of the political mainstream parties, and then that actually could not be implemented because of the pressure. So what we can say in simple terms is that political economy refers to the advice given by the economists to the government on either the general economic policies or on certain specific proposals created by the politicians. So it's a really going to a very challenging field for us to study. These are the components of political economy. It focuses on the three major areas, namely the interdisciplinary study, new political economy, and the international political economy. Okay, because we are not operating in isolation. So while all of us, we must be having the economic operations in our own country, it may have, and it definitely, have impact on the external economic activities as well. So, for example, if we are producing something for being able to export this into certain countries, their economy is also going to be having impact, and vice versa in case we are trying to import something from the other country. So let us see them one by one. Interdisciplinary study for the first one. So here the political economy focuses on the economics, sociology, and the political science. And what is the aim? Because these are all interdisciplinary study. Why we are taking up, because economics is concerned with the society, and so therefore we also need to have fair amount of idea about how the society is functioning. Okay, and because it's all for the people of the society. So you must know what kind of society it is, how it is functioning, what is the different segments of the society, and what kind of economic policies you need to implement for those segments in particular. And also the political science, which basically refers to the political domain as well, because different political parties are formed on the different ideologies, and they have got their own followers, which they believe is of the prime importance. So ultimate aim of this study is to understand how economic systems, the political institution, and the environment affect and influence each other. Because every component in this universe, irrespective of whether you feel it or not, they are having impact on each other. So this is the specific idea, and we should know how they are going to affect and influence, so that we can formulate the relevant policies, and we can make certain corrections if the need be. Next, we'll see the new political economy, because you see, the conventional wisdom says that you need to frame certain policies, and then you follow on all those policies in order to ensure that there is a fair amount of economic development. But here, the new political economy says that policies, economic policies which have been framed can be challenged. It can be further discussed rather than as a framework that needs to be analyzed. I mean, you cannot be consistent with the same policy over a period of time, because the things are changing, the situations are changing. So you need to have a debate on all those policies, and in case there need be, you need to implement certain changes on that. Okay. So what this approach is doing, it dismisses the old ideas about the agencies and the interest of the states and markets. And the ultimate motive is to encourage political debates about the societal wants and needs in the changing times, because every time is different from the previous one, and it requires to be dealt separately or in isolation. Next, we'll see the international political economy. As I told you, we are not operating in isolation. We are going to have make certain impact on the international economy as well, and getting influenced also by the international political economy for that matter. Because if you remember the famous slowdown in the economy in the 2007 and 8, it was purely because of the economic slowdown in the USA post, the debacle of the Lehman Brothers. The impact was, across the whole nation. Set of nations across the globe. So what it does, it analyzes the relationship between the economics and the international relations. So it uses the ideas from the economics, sociology, and the political science as well. And why it is important is because the international political economy is focusing on how states and the institutions use global economic interactions to shape the political system of their own country. So that's how, and that's why it is important to understand. So I hope the components of the political economy is clear to all of you. You can make certain one-liner notes so that you can have a cross-reference in future. This is how the international economy, have impact on the national political economy. You can see there are two circles, and there is some common area. So this is how they influence each other. Okay. Now let us see what is the political economic behavior. Uh, People, are very interested in gains and losses incurred with the implementation of this certain policy, and there are two major factors, like capital and labor. So these are the two factors of productions which do have influenced the political process and generate the policy outcomes to the most benefit. So in this light, we have to think of the political behavior is shaped by the interest, the ideas, and the institutions. And what exactly they mean, we are trying to explore in the next slide. So let us begin with the interests. As individuals in the government tend to promote their own economic and political interests, that will help them retain power. Definitely, that is true, because anybody who is holding a particular position, he will try to pursue his own set of philosophy so that his power is not having effect. And so, therefore, people outside the government must be careful, as they are more concerned with the outcome of the economic policies and not the power per se. So there has to be a diverse set of interest, and everybody should be aware of what kind of interest a particular individual in a particular position is having, and what actually it is going to have effect upon. And even in as example of this, you can have hours debate for hours together on this uh, you know uh, recently framed this farm laws, which could not be implemented or not because of the opposition by certain sort of the society. Next behavioral idea is the idea, because the individual are self-seeking and rational, okay, and that they are unable to assess the outcome of all the choices available to them. Okay, and everybody is having some sort of biasness, and they think that they know about everything. But fact of the matter is, they may be having less knowledge about a particular thing. So, incorporating ideology into the economic models allows some political action to be guided by factors other than the self-interest. And for example, you can see some people want to enter the politics not because they want to gain power or money. Rather than that, they want to make a change in the world and serve the society as a nation. So the incorporating ideology is definitely going to help out in the wider perspective. Next, let us see institutions. There are political rules that include the constitution and define how the leaders are chosen and how a new policy can be implemented. So, irrespective of what group is ruling your country, the biggest institution in terms of the policy framework is our constitutions, which has laid down and prescribed all the norms and all the protocols that need to be followed in running your country. So that cannot be avoided, and basically that is one of the reason why, irrespective of the different ideologies ruling our country for over 75 years, the basic structure of the things are remaining same. So this is actually the purpose. Institutions help structure incentive facing individuals and groups within the economy. Okay. Finally, we are into the political economic theory, and these theory are basically revolving around the three. That is, one is the liberalism, next one is the Marxism, and the third one is economic nationalism. And we'll see them one by one. What the liberalism is. It believes in the economics can benefit everyone, and that society can progress with the improvement in the standard of living. You can take example the Indian economic reforms of 91 that were implemented by Dr. Manmohan Singh, the then finance minister, and he liberalized everything. He removed all the license quota permit system, and he opened our market for the FDIs, foreign direct investments. So this was a great example of the liberalism, and it has paid dividend. Even how you can feel that there is a lot of dividend has been received, although not to the mark, and we need to actually travel much beyond what we have covered up. But in spite of that, we have done a fair amount of work after liberalization. So these people, the liberal people, they think that wants of the community rather than the individual are most important. So they look at the community as a whole while making certain decisions on the policy. And these people do believe in equal opportunity for everyone, and so therefore they need or they are having a lot of concern that there should be impeccable structure of the civil society where everybody gets equal opportunity. Next, we'll see the Marxism, which believes that inequality is very bad. So they are against the capital formation, and they also believe that wealth is generated from labor and the exchange. And that's the reason why the Marxism does not support the private ownership of the resources, because they believe it leads to inequality and only favors the needs of the elite and not of the whole society. And that you can see this is persisting in Russia. It is also persisting in China, apart from the more countries. And you can see the result. Of course, ours is a mixed economy where both things are being propagated. We are having a capitalistic nature also, and we are also having the socialist nature of our economy. So we can call ours to be a mixed economy. So what is economic nationalism? It is a belief that state possesses all the power and that individuals should work to make use of the economic benefits. And it states that the government should control all the resources and that individuals are ignorant and cannot create a cohesive society without a strong state. So it believes that everything should be managed properly only by the state because it has got the proper machinery and the vision to be able to actually manage the way it should be managed. Okay, so this is about the economic nationalism. Okay. Let us move further. I will conclude by saying that political economy is influenced by game theory. It involves different groups competing for finite resource and power. And basically, the political economy is the study of how economic theories affect different socio-economic systems, like socialism, communism, what we have just now discussed. At the same time, it also relates to the capability of the economy to achieve the desired results. And finally, it provides us an understanding of how a country and households are managed and governed by considering both the political and economic factors associated with each other. So I hope the things are now clear fairly to all of you. What is the political economy, how it is distinct from the pure economy, in which only the economic theories are being propagated. But here we are also seeing the economy in a political system and their impact and influence on each other. So that's it for the day. I hope you have enjoyed the complete video and you have learned about the political economy in perspective. I thank all of you for being courteous to be able to watch this video till end. In case of any doubt, you can just connect me on this email ID. So that's it for the day. I'll stop sharing and wish you all the best in your all endeavors for preparing for the examination. All the best for all of you, and have a nice day. Good luck and God bless.